Is the Wii U still worth it now in 2016? 3 years ago, a very fresh-faced looking younger me did a video on this system called Is the Wii U Worth It? Where I stood by the system. It was about 9 months after its release, and I was one of the 2 people I know that actually picked it up, and I felt like the system was already going stale, and people had already lost faith in Nintendo. However, with all the games that they had announced that were coming for this thing, and the games that were already out at the time, I wanted to make a video and try and convince some people to get on board before it's too late. Now, 3 years later, do I stand by what I said back then? Is this system still worth it? Well, today we're going to be taking a look at the system, the games for the system, because really that's all I care about as a gamer, and some of my experiences over the last few years playing this system. Now, whenever I hear people talking about why they haven't picked up a Wii U yet, the biggest complaint I usually hear is that it has no games. It has no third-party support. Well, okay, it doesn't have third-party support because any third-party developer that actually tried to work with the system just shot themselves in the foot by doing so. It's an incredibly hard system to work with. It has so many exclusives to offer for this system, and I want to talk about some of those exclusives today and the experiences that I've had with them and reasons why you should play them if for some reason you haven't already. So let's go through these games in my collection, and I am missing a few, but these right here, these are all exclusives for the system, and honestly, 90% of them are great, fantastic, fun titles that are worth picking up. This is literally no particular order, just the order I had on my shelf. Let's start at the top. This is probably a good one to get out of the way first because it's probably my least favorite exclusive out of all of them. I love Mario Brothers series. Mario Brothers 3, I could play that game 100 times over, and honestly, I don't need any other Mario games. They're all kind of the same, but at the same time, they're all kind of fun. They all bring their own unique style to the table, and if you like the Mario Brothers game and you're a fan of the original series, you need to try it. You need to play this because it's just an extension of the universe. I am so glad this game is second. I was absolutely blown away by this game. Honestly, when I first got the Wii U, I was a little bit skeptical of the system and what it was capable of. And bear in mind, this is a few years old now, but when this came out, it just looked gorgeous, and it still does. It looks stunning. From the scenery and the textures to the characters to even how realistic the fruit looks, and you go around and you collect a bunch of fruit. That's kind of the point of this game. But this game is just visually so stunning. The lighting, shadowing, everything, they put a lot of love into this game. If you like micromanaging, this is really the game for you. If you like games like Age of Empires and like even MOBAs and stuff like that, it's not the same concept, but you use that micromanaging type concept in this game, and it can get really intense. Super Smash Brothers Wii U. I don't think I have to say anything right now. I mean, no, it's not Melee. Yes, Melee was the best as far as like a technical fighter standpoint, but this game brings so much to the table, and while it does lack story mode, for literally the stupidest reason I have ever heard, one person somewhere out there in the world leaked the story mode story before this game came out. So the developer decided that he would completely remove it as punishment. I haven't seen the story because one guy ruined it for me, and I think that's the stupidest, bitchiest little reason to take something out of a game. But beside that, the actual fighting and the character selection and the amount of replayability this game has is insane. Plus, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's just Super Smash Brothers. I remember being 10 years old, 12 years old, and going to the video store near me and renting Super Smash Brothers with my friend that I went to primary school with or elementary school with. Repeatedly. It was our save file. They had one copy of Super Smash Brothers for 64, and it was mine and my friend's save, and we 100% of the game we wiped it, 100% of it, got all the characters. The 2 years, the 3 years that we kept renting that game, no matter if we didn't rent it for a month, if we didn't rent it for 6 months, when we got it back, it was always our save because everyone else wanted the characters and they didn't want to have to start again, and we just put so much work into it that it was already there for everyone. It was already completed DLC. We would rent that game, and like a week would go by and we'd have to return it. My mum would just call up the game store and say we're having it for another week, to charge it to the card. I did that with so many 64 games. I did that with Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time. I charged to the card like 5-6 months in a row because back then it was only about $2 to rent a game for a week. Whereas now in Australia, it's like 20 bucks a week. Mario Kart 8 is my favorite Mario Kart of all time. I'm not gonna hop on about this, but in my first video, I said I was excited for it. I was excited for the maps. I was excited for the gravity switchy thing. I was excited for the concept, and all of it came through. Nintendo came through. They did it. They did it. Congratulations, Nintendo. You did it. It's my favorite Mario Kart. I'm a huge Mario Kart fan. I've played almost every iteration. In fact, I say almost, but I can't think of one that I would have missed unless it was some weird one. I've even played the really cool arcade one. That's all different. It has different characters and different items and stuff, and you actually sit down and drive. I love Mario Kart. That is my favorite. It's so fun, and I'm so damn good at it. And if you want to add me on Wii U, here's my gamer tag. 1v1 me, 8v8 me, anytime. Anytime. I'm gonna beat you. I love that game. Getting into some of the HD remakes. Now, this Zelda HD Remake and that Zelda HD Remake, in my opinion, were just pushed out because they wanted to tie over some time, the Zelda fans, before Zelda came out. But I'm not complaining at all. This game looks gorgeous. It always has done. But this is obviously the definitive way to play it. Even running it on a Dolphin emulator on PC, this still looks better. This looks fantastic. And I don't really, when it comes to stuff like this, I'm a sucker for it. I'm gonna buy it anyway, but I'm also gonna finish it, and I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna finish it 3 times over yet again, and I don't care. I grew up on Nintendo. I grew up playing Nintendo systems, and something about playing a Nintendo system, whether it's a Wii U, a Wii, a GameCube, an NES, it has a feeling. And it's not nostalgia, it transcends nostalgia. I don't really know how to put it into words. I can play PS4 and have a great time. I'm playing the newest generation of console, kicking ass. But as soon as I pick up that Nintendo controller, I know that I'm playing Nintendo. And I don't care what I'm playing on Nintendo as long as I'm playing something. I'm replaying these old Zelda games, and they change them just ever so slightly to make improvements on what made the last ones a little crappy. Not that any of them are bad, but like with that one, some of the collecting stages that went on way too long and were way too tedious, they tidy them up, they fix them up. It's a definitive way to play them. They look great, they run great, they're really fun. They're not a necessity and they're not a console seller, obviously, unless you're not a retro collector and you don't want to go out and buy a GameCube and try and find Twilight Princess for 50 bucks. If you don't want to do that, this is a great way to do it in the current generation, but obviously it's not a console seller. But Lego City Undercover, I have talked about this before, not in detail on my channel, but if you love GDA and you love the humor of Lego games and you love Lego games in general, this game is really freaking fun. It has a really great story, really great likable characters, really great sense of humor. It looked great when it first came out. It looks a little janky now. It looks like an older 360 game, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. It runs fine. It plays fine. It's obviously a downscale version of a GDA game. It's not obviously nearly as extensive, but it does have quite a large map that goes outside of the city into forest areas, into, outback type areas, and you can explore and find and seek and build, and it's just a really fun game that's super underrated. In fact, the Lego games in general. Now, this is one of them things where I know people that look at Lego games as kid games, but I also know people that look at Zelda games as kid games. I'm not kidding. I've heard people say Zelda games are kid games. Just because, they're not bloody, they're not sweary, they're cartoony, they're made on Nintendo system, doesn't mean it's for kids, or only for kids, for that matter. That game and Lego games in general are really fun, and they're something that I actually want to start collecting. They're a little hard to come by, but I want to buy, and they're expensive, but I want to buy all the Lego games because they're honestly all pretty damn fun. I was not a huge Donkey Kong fan growing up. I don't know what it was about me and Donkey Kong. I don't know what it still is about me and Donkey Kong. I had a Super Nintendo when I was a kid. I didn't like it. I didn't play it. I played my NES, and then I got rid of my Super Nintendo. I only had Mega Man X, which I liked because it's Mega Man X, and Donkey Kong, which I didn't like. I don't know what it is. I even got Donkey Kong 2 because I heard at the time it was a good game and I wanted to like it. I don't know if it's just because I sucked at it, but I could never get into it. I never thought I'd be a Donkey Kong guy until this game came along. Hard as balls. In fact, I'm almost certain that I haven't finished this yet. I think I put this away eventually, but I put a lot of hours into it and I got really far into it, and it was just challenging as hell, and it was great fun playing a challenging game again. But the level design, the way it looks, the graphics, again, the lighting, just the way they built this game was so enjoyable to play from start to finish. And if you haven't played a Donkey Kong game, or you're a fan of Donkey Kong games, so honestly, this is so much better than Donkey Kong Country. It's just so good. Buy it and play it. So far we've gone through 8 exclusives. I still have these, and there's 3 games I can think of off the top of my head that I don't have, and I love pretty much everything in that stack. I think you might be starting to get the point, but I'm gonna keep going. This is the best Mario game that's come out since Mario Galaxy 2, hands down, without question. This is a super fun game, paired with Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS. Both of these games are super innovative for Mario games, but just so ridiculously fun, and it's almost hard to explain why it's so great and why it's so fun. Don't get it confused with Super Mario Bros. U. It's not the same kind of game. It sort of transcends that 2D feel and brings it into a 3D world. There's something about the catsuits. I really don't care about power-ups in Mario games apart from the flower. There's something about the catsuit that's actually fun to collect and use and play and crawl up things. And playing it with a friend or a few friends, I actually finished this game with Tiffany. It was just a lot of fun. It's just relaxing and challenging at the same time. It's something fun about it. And if you have the 3D version of this, the 3DS version, it actually uses the 3D incredibly well. That's probably my favorite 3D game on the 3D. It's like one of the only games I even turned the 3D on for. So pick up this one and its 3DS counterpart. Yes, this is a game that I've been meaning to talk about on my channel for the longest time. I get salty, honestly, over how much hate this game gets. I have heard so many people recently playing Zombie now that it's on PS4. Don't. For the love of God, don't. The reason why they put that on PS4 was because they made this game, they put love and effort into this game on the Wii U, and then it didn't sell very well. And just like a lot of things, off the top of my head, Gravity Rush got ported over the PS4. Anything that doesn't sell well on a system, they want to try and make money off of it later on by putting it on something else. To put it on PS4 takes out everything that made this game great. And everything that made this game great was actually using this damn pad, probably the best I've seen it used in a video game. I could do a whole review on this game, and honestly, maybe I should. But if you like horror survival games, let me briefly break this down for you. You get one character, one human, one survivor. When that survivor dies, he's dead. You then have the option of trying to find your dead hero, your dead survivor, killing him and getting your stuff back. If you die before you get back to that survivor, you lose everything. You lose everything that was on him. So if you carry all your guns, all your weapons, all of that stuff on him, a little bit like Dark Souls. I think I actually haven't played Dark Souls. I think that's how it works. Bad comparison probably. But if you don't get back to it, you lose all your stuff. There's actually a mode, if you're in for a challenge, where you can try and play with one survivor, and if you die, that's it. You're done. You gotta start again. I actually managed to get through over half of the game with one survivor, and then I died in the most bullshit way possible. The way this game uses its pad, the pad is a backpack. Now you gotta always be on the lookout for zombies. They could be anywhere around you. But when you use the backpack, you actually literally look into the pad. So you'll look into the pad, that'll be your backpack, and then on the screen, the survivor is looking through his backpack and you can't see anything around you. So if you suddenly hear, if you're trying to put like your gun into your inventory and move ammo around and trying to heal yourself, and you hear a zombie coming, no idea where that zombie's coming from. You gotta put your shit away, stand back up and try and find that zombie. And it's stuff like that, that immersion. A lot of people hate being drawn out of the TV and put into a pad, but when it's like that, where I'm not supposed to be looking there right now, I'm supposed to be looking here, and it is an extension of the game, I find that fun. There's other things you can do where if you want to put in like a keypad to get into a door, you got to do this on the pad as well. And again, that means your character is looking at the keypad on the screen, and if there's zombies coming, you got to be quick. There was one time where I had like 10 zombies running behind me. I ran up to a door, tried to get in, and it was locked, and I'm trying to furiously put in the keypad combination, which I think I knew, but I wasn't sure, and I'm getting it wrong like 4 times in a row, and then I finally get it, and I go through the door, and then I like dive into my backpack and try and bring out a weapon, and I stood around and start firing. There is fun you can have in this game. I don't know, it's a really fun game, and using it without the pad is just a waste of time. Do not play it on PS4. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about Nintendo Land. I don't know why that's in the stack. Don't even play that. But if you don't get that with the system, don't worry about it. There's a couple of fun mini games you can play with friends, but Wii U Sports was better, honestly. Hyrule Warriors is super fun and actually kind of getting hard to collect and find, so if you can find this cheap, do it. I was actually lucky when I got mine. Mine came with my Wii U pretty much for free, and I guess it's in my Wii U right now. It felt a little light. But then I also got my Wii U at a pawnbrokers, and when I got it home, I ejected it, and it had another one of these inside. I was lucky, I managed to get mine for free. 2 for free, actually. It was made by a third-party company that doesn't usually make Zelda games, but they made a Dynasty Warriors cross Zelda game. It's super fun, super action. There's a lot of sprites on the screen at any given time. You just wail on them with a bunch of different characters, all the different Zelda characters and a couple extra ones thrown in. If you've played Dynasty Warriors, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of fun to just wail on enemies, get power-ups, go through levels. The levels are actually kind of long. There's a lot of replayability in this, but they did a really great job with it. And I honestly, there's not much more I could say about it other than that. It's got a lot of personality, a lot of charm. It feels different for a Zelda game, and I thought it was funny that when this game came out was the same time time that a third-party developer developed a Sonic game, and both third-party developers decided to give the lead character scarves. So apparently when you give your Nintendo properties or your game franchise properties to a third-party developer, they will put a scarf on your main hero. Now here's one that I just started, and I'm really not far into it at all, but I've heard such... Why is that light as well? I can't be missing both of those discs. I feel like I've lost a game. This game, it's been fun from what I've been treated to so far. I definitely get the feeling that it's going to be an extensive open world game. It is an RPG. It plays a little bit like an MMO, but you're on your own. I don't know if you can get other people in your game. I think you can. But it's an extensive world. It actually looks pretty fun and pretty graphically impressive. It's a higher end 360 looking game for my opinion. In fact, 360 might have struggled to run this, maybe. Probably not, because 360 could optimize better than the Wii U, but it looks fantastic on the Wii U regardless. The combat isn't bad for what it is. It's an RPG that I actually enjoy. That should say something, because I think I've liked about 20 RPGs in my lifetime. For those of you who haven't seen my Minecraft video, playing it on Wii U is honestly probably the best way to play it. I'm not a huge fan of this game at all. In fact, I don't like this game. I'm gonna come out and say it. I don't like this game. The Super Mario Brothers pack, where you get the skin and all of that. I freaking love that. That was badass to play around on that. I don't know what it was. I don't care for Minecraft, but playing a skin of a game that I actually love in Minecraft was actually a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen my video on that, you can watch that here. I'm not gonna go on about it because the amount I know about Minecraft I can write on a postage stamp. The Wonderful 101, again, I'm not going to go on about this too much because I picked it up recently. I've been meaning to play it and I still haven't got around to it. It's kind of hard to find, actually. I've been told it's really fun and it plays a little bit like Pikmin, I believe. I'll put up some gameplay while I'm here talking about it, but I've been told it's a good game and I'm going to just go ahead and believe that because it's Nintendo, but I'm going to believe it anyway until I play it. And again, obviously, another great exclusive if you're looking for exclusives on the Wii U. Okay, 2 games. We have Star Fox. Now this game looks amazing and it's a great throwback to the Nintendo 64 days. If you like Star Fox 64 and you want to play a HD remake but way better and different game, this is the game for you. I personally have gripes with this game that I'm not going to go into. I don't want to be another one of them guys that hate the game and get hated for it. I couldn't keep playing it. I got about halfway through and I had to stop. I don't want to be another guy that says, the controls, but the controls. I personally couldn't get used to them. But the game looks amazing, and whenever I could actually get the controls down and have like a good 3 minutes where I'm just controlling fantastically, I felt badass. Some of the stuff I was pulling off, and I was shooting and then barrel rolling and then flipping and then shooting and then getting a ring and then collecting an item and then bombing. Fun as hell. But then the next second I'm like stuck on a wall while I'm looking this way, trying to shoot that way. It's just sometimes if you get out of the rhythm, you get completely thrown off and you can't do it. But I'm not here to talk crap about this game. For sure, you can get fun out of it, and if you're good at mastering controls and you have good hand-eye coordination, which I have really good hand-eye coordination if I don't say so myself. But I still couldn't get my hands and my coordination around this game. I've heard Star Fox Guard is good too. Mine's still sealed because I have so many Nintendo games to play and I cannot get through. Honestly, how many games have I just talked through? Like 10? 12? I don't have that much time to play video games. If I played every great exclusive on the Wii U, I think it would take me a year or 2 to finish every game, personally. And honestly, just with Xenoblade alone, if you want to put in 150 hours, you probably can. Last but not least, for my physical games, I have Super Mario Maker. I have to look at it. Again, I haven't had time to dive into this, but it's very self-explanatory, and I've played it at my friend Billy's house. It's fun to build levels and muck around. I've tried to beat Alpha's levels. I got the furthest. It was me, Billy, Scott Squatch, Katie, and Jay. I think Jay was there, and Alpha, and we're all trying to beat Alpha's level at Billy's house, and I got the furthest. I stand by that. I think I got near the end actually, but damn. If you want a challenge, download Alpha's levels. I'm not sure I don't know how to do that or where to find them, but god damn it. So a few games off the top of my head that I can think of that you should probably buy, and I should probably buy, is the Yoshi's Woolly World. There's a Kirby game, I think there's a Kirby game. And, there was one more. There's definitely one more. Splatoon. I don't have Splatoon for some reason. I'm definitely looking at picking all 3 of those up, but I can't really afford it right now, and I already have all this to play. Okay, guys, I've been sat here for way too long talking about all these video games. 15 video games right here, maybe a little bit more, and then 3 more that I haven't talked about. And if you take games like Zombie U, which has replayability, Xenoblade Chronicles, which you can play for hours upon hours, Mario Maker, which is just endless possibilities that you can play for hours upon hours upon hours. Adventure games like Lego City, Donkey Kong, which honestly, if you suck at it as much as I do, is going to be at least 15-20 hour adventure for you. So many great games right now for this system. I think we still have one good game to go, which is Paper Mario, which is, Paper Marios are always fun. But right now, as it stands, with this many exclusives, honestly, more exclusives than you could probably afford unless you buy them all secondhand for 10 bucks at the swap meets and conventions. I mean, as I said, I have 15 games for the system right now that are all exclusives. I think I have about 15 or 20 PS4 games, which honestly, I collect third-party and exclusives for PS4. These are all the games from the generation that I've wanted to buy. I might be missing 5 max, and I have almost as many Wii U exclusives as I do total PS4 games. And for Xbox One exclusives, which are there, not there, that's where they usually are, I have 5. I have 5 exclusives, and I think I'm missing 1 that I need. This is just me and my opinion. Again, please don't take it to heart if you don't agree in any way. And again, I'm not shitting on PS4. Xbox, it's whatever. I have all of them. They're all right here, and I love them all very much for their own reasons. But when people tell me the Wii U isn't worth it because it doesn't have games, it grinds my gears a little bit. And I don't think that people actually take a look at how many exclusives and how many games there actually are for this system. So about 4 years ago, I picked up the Wii U, and since then I've gone on a lot of adventures with it. It's very small and compact, so every time I've gone overseas, I've taken it with me. Every time I've gone on a road trip, I've taken it with me. I've taken it to a lot of different places. My Wii U has been around the world. I then had to buy an American Wii U, which a lot of you sat through that adventure with me in my other videos. And I've been collecting American Wii U games now to try and pick up some of the ones that I missed out on because of the region locking. Oh, and there's Bayonetta 2, another game that is definitely worth buying the system for. An amazing, incredibly fun game that Nintendo salvaged from the depths. That's another one right there. I've had so much fun with my Wii U since I've had it. And if you didn't pick one up on release, I almost feel bad for you that you didn't go through that experience of sorely waiting for the next exclusive, because that's all we really had. But they kept coming. 2, 3, 4 a year, they kept coming. And we have one more to go. It's a fun system with a lot of games. I highly recommend picking it up. I stand by what fresh-faced me said 3 years ago. If you like Nintendo, even if you don't, and you want a completely different gaming experience, and I mean beyond the gimmicks, I mean beyond the pad, I mean the video games, the Wii U has exactly what you need. I recommend picking it up. That's my video on the Wii U, guys. It was really just me talking about how much I love the system, and I know I'm incredibly biased towards Nintendo, and I always will be, but again, I love all systems, I love all video games, I love a good game no matter where it's on. I don't like Atari that much, but hey, it has some amazing games like Kaboom, and I don't care where you put your video game. If you make a game as fun as Kaboom, I'm gonna sit down on a couch and play that shit with friends for 3 hours on end. I'm gonna go because just like at the end of all my videos, I'm sweating and thirsty, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Do you ever get sick of having to load up separate emulators to play all your NES, SNES, and Fairchild games? Well, now I have a way to do it all in one. Launchbox is kind of like iTunes but for video games. Load up all your ROMs and play them in one easy place. It even pulls some artwork and gameplay from its database so it tells you exactly what you're about to play. It's a really easy, free app, and I highly recommend you check out that link. And a big thanks to Launchbox for sponsoring the show this month. And a big thanks to you guys for watching Beat 'em Ups, and I will see you next time. Hey guys, real quick, again, thank you for watching this video. I just wanted to point out something. It's been really dark here in Vancouver recently, and it's been a struggle to actually get good lighting to film. So I went out and I bought lights. Lights, yeah, you can't really see them right there. There's another one there, which is another reason why I'm sweating. But I have my Patreons to thank for that. I also bought a new microphone, but it's crap, and I regret it, and I returned it, so I'm still using this one. Oh god, someone's ringing me. But I just wanted to say thank you to my Patreons for making this possible, as always. And if you want to support my Patreon, you can head over to here, or in the comment section, the description below, and support the Patreon. All that funding goes back into the show and helps me create these videos. You get a lot of cool rewards, like you can join the Facebook group, or the Facebook chat. We talk every day in that chat, so there's an option there. If not, the video's going to keep coming anyway. I apologize for the lack of content over the last few weeks. I've been really busy setting up here in Canada and getting a job and all that. I'm obviously making videos again now, and they're going to keep coming. I'm going to go because I'm talking too long, but thank you guys. Thank you Patreons, and thank you subscribers, and thank you viewers. I'll catch you later.